Life after 70 represents a precious chapter, one that many of us hope to extend as long as possible. Yet have you noticed how differently people age? Some seniors remain vibrant and independent well into their 90s, while others struggle with declining health much earlier. What accounts for this difference? Today I'm revealing 7 scientifically proven indicators that can predict your longevity after 70. The remarkable thing about these signs is that they're observable in your everyday life. No expensive tests or medical equipment required. By the end of this presentation, you'll understand where you stand and, more importantly, what specific areas you can improve to potentially add years to your life. Many people focus exclusively on obvious factors like weight or blood pressure, but research has uncovered surprising predictors that are often overlooked. These hidden factors might be silently affecting your longevity right now. The good news? Each of these signs represents an area where positive change is possible, regardless of your age or current condition. Let's discover what science tells us about predicting your longevity after 70. Sign 1. Walking speed. The first predictor might surprise you with its simplicity: how fast you walk. Multiple long-term studies have confirmed that walking speed is one of the most reliable indicators of longevity in older adults. Scientists call it the sixth vital sign because it integrates the functioning of multiple body systems: muscular strength, balance, nervous system control, and cardiovascular health. Consider 2 75-year-olds I know. Martha maintains a brisk pace on her daily walks, confidently navigating curbs and inclines in her neighborhood. She doesn't think twice about choosing stairs over elevators. In contrast, David has noticeably slowed down over the past few years. He needs to rest frequently during short walks, shows unsteadiness on uneven surfaces, and actively avoids stairs whenever possible. According to research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, just a 0.1 meter per second decrease in walking speed correlates with a 12% higher mortality risk in older adults. That means Martha's vigorous walking pace suggests she might live significantly longer than David, potentially by several years. But why does walking speed matter so much? When your gait slows, it often signals progressive muscle loss, sarcopenia, declining cardiovascular efficiency, and neurological changes affecting coordination. These aren't just mobility issues. They're markers of your body's overall aging process. You might recognize some warning signs in yourself or loved ones. Do you find yourself needing to rest after walking short distances that never troubled you before? Have you started deliberately choosing routes without stairs or hills? Do you feel unsteady when walking on slightly uneven surfaces like grassy areas or gravel paths? These subtle adaptations often happen so gradually that many people don't notice them until they've significantly impacted mobility. The encouraging news is that walking speed responds remarkably well to intervention. A study from the University of Pittsburgh found that previously sedentary older adults could increase their walking speed by up to 0.2 meters per second, a meaningful improvement in longevity prediction, within just 12 weeks of consistent practice. Simple daily practices like gradually increasing your walking distance, adding gentle inclines to your route, or incorporating basic strength exercises for your legs can make meaningful differences. I recommend starting with just 5 to 10 minutes of purposeful walking each day, focusing on maintaining good posture and taking deliberate steps. Over time, gently increase duration and intensity. For those with significant mobility challenges, even small movements matter. Chair exercises that strengthen the quadriceps and hamstrings can translate to improved walking capacity over time. Remember, each small improvement in walking capacity doesn't just help you get around, it potentially extends your life. I've seen remarkable transformations, like my neighbor George, who went from shuffling with a walker to walking unassisted for half a mile within 6 months of dedicated practice. Your body can adapt and improve at any age when given the right stimulus. Sign 2, grip strength. Our second longevity predictor is grip strength, a surprising but powerful indicator of overall vitality. Research published in The Lancet followed over 140,000 people and found that grip strength was a better predictor of all-cause mortality than blood pressure or overall physical activity. Consider 2 78-year-olds, Eleanor and Thomas. Eleanor opens jars without thinking. carries her own groceries, and gives a firm handshake. Thomas, meanwhile, increasingly asks for help with packages, avoids carrying heavy items, and has a noticeably weaker grasp when shaking hands. The science behind this connection is fascinating. Each 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength correlates with 16% higher risk of all-cause mortality. This means that something as simple as how firmly you can squeeze someone's hand provides remarkable insight into how well your entire body is aging. This difference matters because grip strength isn't just about your hands. It's a window into your overall muscle health. Strong hands typically indicate good overall muscle mass maintenance, which directly impacts metabolism, organ protection, and physical resilience. Our hands contain numerous small muscles controlled by complex neural pathways, making them sensitive indicators of both muscular and neurological health. Furthermore, grip strength reflects nervous system integrity. The complex movement of your hands require precise neural control, so a strong grip often indicates healthy brain-body connections. This explains why declining grip strength sometimes precedes cognitive changes by several years. In your daily life, you might notice subtle changes that signal declining grip strength. Perhaps you've started asking for help opening jars or bottles that once posed no challenge. Maybe you've switched to lighter grocery bags or begun making multiple trips to carry items that you previously managed in one go. These adaptations, while seemingly minor, can be early warning signs of overall muscle loss. If you're concerned about your grip strength, simple daily exercises can help. Try squeezing a tennis ball for 30 seconds at a time, doing wrist curls with light weights, or practicing finger extensions with a rubber band around your fingers. Even basic activities like kneading dough or gardening can maintain hand strength. I've worked with many seniors who significantly improved their grip strength within weeks through consistent practice. Harriet, an 82-year-old client, increased her grip measurement by 20% in just 2 months through daily hand exercises that took less than 5 minutes. The key is consistency rather than intensity. Short, frequent training sessions prove more effective than occasional strenuous workouts. And the benefits extend beyond longevity prediction. Improved grip strength translates directly to greater independence in daily activities. If you're finding this information helpful so far, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed insights on healthy aging. Sign 3, Balanceability. Our third longevity predictor is balance, specifically how well you can maintain stability on one leg. A remarkable study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that the inability to stand on one leg for 10 seconds was associated with nearly double the risk of death within the next decade for people over 50. Consider the contrast between Judith and Harold, both 77 years old. Judith can still stand on one leg while putting on pants or shoes without support. She moves confidently through her home without touching walls or furniture for stability. Harold, however, needs to sit down to dress, holds on to counters while walking in the kitchen, and expresses frequent concern about falling. The research is compelling. Dr. Claudio Gil-Urlo and his team followed over 1,700 participants and found that those who failed the one-leg standing test had an 84% higher risk of death from any cause over the following decade, even after accounting for other factors like age and medical history. This stark difference matters because balance is a complex function that integrates your visual system, inner ear, proprioception, your body's position sense, and muscle strength. When these systems begin to deteriorate, balance typically declines first, often before other more obvious signs of aging appear. Many people dismiss balance changes as inevitable with age, but research doesn't support this fatalism. While some degree of change is normal, significant balance deterioration often signals accelerated aging processes throughout multiple body systems. You might notice subtle adaptations in yourself or loved ones, increasingly walking near walls or furniture to maintain a safety net, developing a wider base gait for stability, or experiencing momentary unsteadiness when changing positions. These compensations often develop unconsciously as the body attempts to prevent falls. Poor balance doesn't just predict falls, though that's certainly important. It serves as an early warning system for neurological health and physical decline. The good news is that balance can improve dramatically with the right exercises. Try this right now. Stand near a counter or wall for safety. Then lift one foot just an inch off the ground. How long can you hold this position without touching your other foot down or grabbing something for support? Work toward a goal of 10 seconds on each leg. Simple daily practices like standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, practicing heel-to-toe walking, like on an imaginary tightrope, or gentle Tai Chi movements can significantly improve your balance in just weeks. The key is challenging your balance system regularly, but safely. I've seen remarkable improvements in clients like Francis, who at 83 could barely stand on one leg for 2 seconds when we started working together. After 8 weeks of daily balance practice, she could maintain single-leg stance for over 15 seconds and reported feeling steadier in all her movements. These improvements aren't just numbers. They translate directly to increased confidence, continued independence, and statistically significant longevity benefits. Your balance system remains adaptable throughout life when given appropriate challenges. Sign 4. Sleep quality. Our fourth longevity predictor focuses on how well you sleep. Recent research has established that sleep patterns strongly correlate with longevity after 70. This isn't just about quantity. Sleep quality and consistency play crucial roles in determining how well your body ages. Consider William and Barbara, both in their mid-70s. William typically falls asleep within 20 minutes of going to bed, sleeps soundly for about 7 hours, and wakes feeling refreshed. Barbara, however, takes hours to fall asleep, wakes multiple times during the night, and often feels exhausted during the day despite spending 9 hours in bed. A groundbreaking study in the journal Sleep Medicine followed older adults for over a decade and found that those with poor sleep quality had a 25% higher all-cause mortality risk compared to good sleepers, even after controlling for total sleep time. Another study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society demonstrated that inconsistent sleep patterns increase mortality risk by 30%. This difference matters because quality sleep is when your body performs critical maintenance functions. During deep sleep, your brain clears metabolic waste, including proteins associated with dementia, your cells repair damage, and your immune system strengthens. Poor sleep accelerates aging at the cellular level and increases inflammation throughout the body. The connection goes even deeper. Your brain consolidates memories during specific sleep phases, which explains why chronic sleep disruption often precedes cognitive decline. Your body also regulates hormones during sleep that affect everything from appetite to stress resilience. Warning signs include taking more than 30 minutes to fall asleep, waking more than twice during the night, feeling unrest despite adequate time in bed, or experiencing daytime sleepiness that interferes with activities. Many people dismiss these as normal aging, but significant sleep deterioration isn't inevitable. Pay attention to changes in your sleep architecture. Perhaps you're waking earlier than desired and unable to fall back asleep. Maybe you notice increased sensitivity to environmental disturbances like light or noise. These shifts often reflect changing brain chemistry and can be addressed with targeted interventions. Simple improvements can make a tremendous difference. Maintaining consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends, avoiding screens 1 hour before bedtime, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and limiting caffeine after noon. For many seniors, a short 20 to 30-minute afternoon nap can also improve nighttime sleep quality rather than interfering with it. I've worked with numerous clients who transformed their sleep through behavioral changes alone. Margaret, at 79, went from fragmented, unsatisfying sleep to sleeping soundly through most nights by implementing a consistent pre-sleep routine and making simple environmental modifications to her bedroom. Sleep quality responds remarkably well to intervention at any age. Your sleep patterns aren't fixed. They can improve with consistent attention to sleep hygiene practices. I'd love to hear about your sleep patterns in the comments. Do you find your sleep has changed as you've gotten older? Share your experience below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to ensure you don't miss our upcoming content on optimizing sleep for longevity. Sign 5. Appetite and nutrition. Our fifth longevity predictor concerns your relationship with food, specifically your appetite and nutritional intake. Research clearly shows that maintaining good appetite and diverse nutrition strongly correlates with extended lifespan after 70. Consider Gloria and Raymond, both 82 years old. Gloria enjoys meals, regularly tries new foods, and maintains a varied diet rich in proteins, colorful vegetables, and whole grains. Raymond, however, has experienced diminishing appetite over the past few years. He often skips meals, finds food tasteless, and has unintentionally lost weight. The research is compelling. A study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society followed over 900 older adults and found that those experiencing unintentional weight loss had more than twice the mortality risk compared to those maintaining stable weight. Another study in clinical nutrition showed that seniors with poor appetite had a 63% higher risk of mortality within 5 years. This difference matters tremendously. Appetite loss in seniors often precedes significant health declines because adequate nutrition provides the building blocks for everything from immune function to tissue repair. Unexplained weight loss after 70 is particularly concerning, with studies showing it correlates with higher mortality rates independent of starting weight. What makes this predictor especially valuable is its early warning potential. Changes in appetite often appear months or even years before more obvious health declines, providing a critical window for intervention. Warning signs include foods no longer tasting good, regularly feeling full after just a few bites, meals becoming a chore rather than a pleasure, or losing more than 5% of your body weight over 6 to 12 months without trying. You might notice increased food selectivity, where previously enjoyed foods become unappealing without clear reason. The physiological reasons for these connections are clear. Aging bodies require efficient nutrition to maintain essential systems, but aging itself often reduces appetite, alters taste perception, and changes digestive efficiency. This creates a challenging cycle where your body needs good nutrition more than ever but wants it less. Many people assume appetite naturally diminishes with age, but significant changes should never be ignored. While caloric needs may decrease slightly, dramatic appetite reduction typically signals underlying issues ranging from medication side effects to subtle digestive changes. Simple strategies to address this include eating smaller, more frequent nutrient-dense meals, ensuring adequate protein — many seniors need more, not less — adding natural flavor enhancers like herbs and spices, and making meals social occasions when possible. Even small improvements in nutritional intake can have significant impacts on energy, immunity, and overall resilience. I've worked with clients like Edward, who at 85 had lost interest in eating and subsequently lost 15 pounds unintentionally. By implementing flavor enhancement techniques, optimizing meal timing, and prioritizing protein at breakfast, he regained both his appetite and lost weight within 3 months. Remember that nutrition is perhaps the most fundamental aspect of health at any age. Your body can only work with the materials you provide it, making food choices quite literally life-extending decisions. Sign 6. Stress resilience. Our 6 longevity predictor examines how you handle stress. Multiple studies have confirmed that stress resilience, your ability to bounce back from life's challenges, significantly impacts longevity after 70. Consider Victor and Helen, both 76. When facing challenges like health scares or family conflicts, Victor acknowledges his concerns but maintains perspective. He utilizes specific relaxation techniques, focuses on what he can control, and typically returns to his baseline emotional state relatively quickly. Helen, however, tends to catastrophize problems, experiences persistent worry that disrupts her sleep and appetite, and shows physical manifestations of stress like tension headaches and digestive issues that linger for weeks. The science behind this connection is compelling. A groundbreaking study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences demonstrated that seniors with poor stress regulation had increased inflammatory markers and shortened telomeres, protective caps on chromosomes associated with longevity. Another study from the Journal of Gerontology followed older adults for 7 years and found those with high perceived stress had a 42% higher mortality risk compared to those with effective stress management. This difference matters because chronic stress triggers persistent inflammation, now recognized as a major driver of age-related diseases from heart conditions to dementia. Physiologically, stress hormones like cortisol, while helpful in short bursts, become damaging when chronically elevated, accelerating cellular aging and suppressing immune function. What makes stress particularly impactful in older adults is its compounding nature. As we age, our physiological stress recovery mechanisms naturally slow down, meaning stress hormones remain elevated longer after each triggering event. Without effective management strategies, this creates a cascade of negative health effects. Warning signs include persistent irritability, continuously worrying about the same issues, physical tension that doesn't resolve with rest, or feeling overwhelmed by relatively minor challenges. You might notice increased reactivity to small stressors that previously wouldn't have bothered you, or difficulty turning off worried thoughts. Many people consider their stress responses fixed personality traits, but research demonstrates remarkable plasticity in our stress management systems. Your nervous system can learn new patterns at any age with consistent practice. The good news is that stress resilience can improve at any age. Simple practices like daily deep breathing exercises, try 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Regular mindfulness practice or gentle movement like walking in nature have been shown to significantly improve stress responses even in people who struggle with anxiety for decades. I've worked with numerous clients who transformed their stress resilience in their 70s and 80s. Clara, at 84, implemented a simple 5-minute mindfulness practice twice daily and reported that, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm in charge of my reactions instead of them controlling me. These improvements aren't just subjective. They create measurable changes in inflammatory markers, immune function, and even brain structure. Your body's stress response system remains adaptable throughout life. I'm curious, what situation tends to cause you the most stress, and how do you currently manage it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for our upcoming deep dive into stress management techniques specifically designed for seniors. Sign 7. Social connections. Our final longevity predictor might be the most powerful of all, your social connections. Research from institutions like Harvard University has followed people for decades and consistently found that the quality and quantity of social relationships are among the strongest predictors of longevity, rivaling the effects of smoking, obesity, or physical inactivity. Consider Dorothy and Gerald, both 79. Dorothy maintains regular contact with family, has a small but consistent group of friends she sees weekly, and participates in community activities like her garden club. Gerald, following his wife's death 5 years ago, has gradually withdrawn from most social activities, rarely initiates contact with others, and spends most days alone with minimal human interaction. The research is both clear and striking. A meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine reviewed 148 studies involving over 300,000 participants and found that people with stronger social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weaker social connections. This made social isolation comparable to well-established risk factors like smoking 15 cigarettes daily. This difference significantly impacts their likely lifespans. Studies show that social isolation increases mortality risk by 26 to 32% among older adults. Even more striking, the subjective feeling of loneliness is associated with a 26% increased risk of premature death. What makes this predictor particularly fascinating is how it influences nearly every physiological system in your body. Meaningful social connections don't just make you feel better emotionally. They create measurable biological changes. The biological mechanisms are fascinating. Meaningful social connections reduce stress hormones, strengthen immune function, lower inflammation, and even influence gene expression toward healthier patterns. Positive social interaction literally creates physiological resilience. Research has shown that seniors with strong social networks have more robust antibody responses to vaccines and recover more quickly from illness. Warning signs include declining social invitations more often than accepting them, going entire days without meaningful conversation, feeling that nobody would notice if you were gone, or experiencing persistent loneliness even when others are present. Many people don't recognize their gradual social withdrawal until it has significantly impacted their well-being. This predictor matters even more after significant life transitions like retirement, relocation, or loss of a spouse. These events often disrupt established social networks precisely when their protective effects are most needed. Simple improvements can make profound differences. Scheduling regular calls with family members, joining community groups based on existing interests, volunteering, which combines purpose with connection, or even adopting a pet, which studies show provides significant health benefits through companionship. I've worked with many clients who transformed their social connectivity in later life. Arthur, at 81 and widowed, initially resisted joining any groups, but eventually agreed to attend a weekly veterans coffee meetup. Within months, he had developed meaningful friendships that, in his words, gave me something to look forward to again. Remember, it's the quality of connections, not just quantity, that matters most for longevity. Even one or two deep, meaningful relationships can provide significant health benefits. Your relationship needs are highly individual, and what matters is finding the right balance for your personality and circumstances. Conclusion: we've explored 7 scientifically validated signs that predict longevity after 70. Walking speed, grip strength, balance ability, sleep quality, appetite and nutrition, stress resilience, and social connections. Each of these indicators offers a window into your likely longevity. And more importantly, each represents an area where positive change is possible. What makes these predictors particularly valuable is how they interconnect. Improvements in one area often cascade into others. Better sleep enhances stress resilience. Stronger social connections often improve appetite and nutrition. More physical activity typically leads to better sleep quality. This creates potential for virtuous cycles where small positive changes amplify each other. While we focus on longevity, it's worth emphasizing that these same factors strongly predict quality of life, not just quantity. The same changes that might add years to your life will almost certainly add life to your years. After all, the goal isn't simply to live longer, but to maintain vitality, independence, and joy throughout those extended years. The most encouraging aspect of this research is that improvement is possible at any age. Even small changes, standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, prioritizing protein at breakfast, or scheduling a weekly phone call with a friend, can create meaningful differences in your health trajectory. I've personally witnessed remarkable transformations in people well into their 80s, and even 90s who decided to focus on these areas. Margaret improved her walking speed by 20% at age 88. Joseph doubled his balance time at 92. Elizabeth rebuilt her social network at 86 after moving to a new community. These aren't exceptional cases. They represent the natural capacity for improvement that remains throughout life. I encourage you to honestly assess where you stand with each of these 7 signs. Identify 1 or 2 areas where you can make simple improvements and begin there. Remember that consistency matters more than intensity. Small daily practices ultimately create the biggest impacts on longevity. If you found this information valuable, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based content on healthy aging. I'd love to hear which of these 7 signs surprised you most or which area you plan to work on first. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next week, we'll explore specific exercises designed to improve balance and prevent falls, one of the most requested topics from our community. You won't want to miss it.